Good morning. It is Thursday, March 17th, 2022, St. Patrick's Day. And today is Daily Shakeup number 502. And sorry, I'm not talking about St. Patrick's Day, luck of the Irish, or any of that. Today, I'm talking about emotions, one of these confusing topics, especially when it comes to leadership and teams and culture. So often I hear people say, you just need to be less emotional. Really? What that means is saying, let's be less human. And the reality today is maybe more than ever, we need even more humanity in our organizations and our teams, and certainly in our leadership. That doesn't mean less, little, or no emotion. It means doing different things with our emotion. We are emotional creatures. And in fact, we know that most decisions are made emotionally. That's a given. That's not a bad thing. It's just an awareness. So I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about emotions, and they were talking about how they wish people on their team were less emotional, which they equated to drama. And then I pointed out to this person that based on my interaction with them, they're quite emotional themselves. Not a bad thing. It's just a human thing. So this is the phrase that came out of me. We need to learn to communicate through our emotions, not with our emotions. Let me say that again. We need to learn to communicate through our emotions, not with our emotions. Now, there's a third option that many people work on, and it's a failed model. And that is the effort to communicate without emotions, to pretend we don't have them, or to somehow take them and set them aside. So imagine that I've got these emotions, whatever they are. It could be happiness, it could be sadness, it could be fear, it could be anger, could be shame, or these doubts about my worthiness. But I've got these emotions. If I try and set them aside, I'm really trying to communicate while I'm pushing these things over here. So it's resistance, and I'm trying to become like a robot. And none of us are robots, we're human. The other version at the other extreme is I communicate with my emotions. So whatever those emotions are, you're going to experience them. You're going to experience like almost like an arrow of my sadness, my anger, my shame, even my joy. But what if instead we communicate through our emotions? We have these emotions in us, we recognize them, but we pay enough attention to them to make sure that we do the things well and right and differently, so that I'm not projecting my emotions on you. That's the communicating with emotions. But instead, my thought process and my communication with you, verbal, nonverbal, all of it, is through these emotions. So we acknowledge they're there, we know they're there, and we know that they're being experienced, but they're not being thrust or projected on the others, and they're not being hidden as if they didn't exist. So that's the thought for today. What would it look like for you every day to communicate through your emotions rather than pretending you don't have them, i.e. without emotions, or communicate with the emotions, which is the spears and the arrows of those emotions? That's it for today. What do you think? Let me know. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. By all means, stay connected.